Fuck, I'm doing it. Here we go. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 8 of the Clicker Cast. We're having a hard time going this morning.
Take like
This
5.
morning.
Yeah, this morning.
It's 9 o'clock at night.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh my god.
Good God.
Okay.
Anyway, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Clicker Cast. These giggly bitches over here are my co-hosts, as always. Ballistic Gaming, Artie the Gamer, joining me as always.
Hello.
2 minutes in, by the way. 2 minutes in.
Oh, okay.
It would have been 3. It would have been 3 if I'd have pressed record the first time.
Yeah, no shit.
Probably longer than that.
Probably.
Ooh.
But
No, I've been crying. Jeez.
good lord. And of course I am Ero, as everybody already knows anyway. Episode 7 of The Last of Us is our episode discussion tonight. And as I told my wife Brackle before getting into this episode, as I do almost every week, hey, you ready to watch some sad shit?
Yep. Very sad.
Sit back, because this one's gonna take the cake. Alright, so out of the gate, spoilers coming at you. If you have not watched the show, as always, we do this every week. I'm going to continue to do so. If you have not seen the show, leave, watch it, come back. We love you.
Fuck out of here. And then come back. We love you.
Agreed. Also, if you haven't played the game and you would like to, we're going to be spoiling that as well. Because guess what? They're doing a good job of following the game and the TV show. So once again,
Yes.
go play it, come back. We love you. We'll be here.
Yeah.
This episode specifically, make sure it's not the game. You got to play the fucking DLC.
That's true. That's true. Which, if you get the Game of the Year edition, you get the DLC for free.
Yes.
Yes.
But we are going to be talking about the Left Behind episode of The Last of Us, which also shares the same name as the DLC, Left Behind from the first Last of Us, which obviously I loved. I will say, right out of the gate, I will say, I say it every week. I think they knocked it out of the park once again.
Of course.
Bella Ramsey continues to surprise me. And I don't know the name of the girl who played Riley.
Storm Reed.
One more time?
Storm Reed.
Storm
Reed.
Reed. It's a hell of a name. She did fantastic.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so I guess just without really getting into the episode, what were your guys' like initial thoughts as the episode played through?
For me, a little disappointment.
Whoa, okay.
Just for the simple fact, and I said this going into this episode, that I wanted more at the end.
Okay.
And they left it exactly the one time I'm going to bitch about them sticking exactly to the game. Like they did. Because this episode was pretty much scene for scene the entire episode.
Yeah, definitely.
I wanted more on what Ellie had to do after the fact. Learning that she's immune, learning, watching Riley turn. What did she have to do when that happened? Did she leave? Did she kill her? What was like that playthrough? I would have liked a little bit more into that. Other than that, fantastic. But it's me being a stingy bitch and wanting a little bit more.
I don't know if I'd call you a stingy bitch, honestly, because like I feel like that narrative would be nice to have, and I feel like it is wanted by more than just you.
Well, yeah. Well, with how much they've deviated from the game in almost every episode, with giving us more.
Yeah.
I think this would have been a very good place to do it. Giving us more in this episode, giving us at least, instead of that hard cut after their little end scene, giving us like in a little 10-minute montage, whatever, 5 minutes, giving us what went on, what played out, and kind of, it would explain Ellie a little bit more too, I think.
Yeah. Fair enough.
But that's my only gripe.
Artie?
It's fair. I would have liked to see like a different ending. Like I said, what happens after.
Mhm.
But overall, it's probably my favorite episode so far.
Okay.
It was really good. It was really pretty.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. They really had me at the end, because I'm going to be honest, while I have played the first game and beaten it probably 4 or 5 different times, the actual Left Behind DLC I think I've only played once.
Mm-hmm.
So I was kind
Okay.
of forgetting how it ended. Does it end like it did in the show?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much to the T.
They
Yep.
don't show you the death of anybody?
Nope.
I could
No.
have swore, but I mean, I've been wrong
It's almost damn near to the T of her breaking the glass, and they have their little conversations. They sit down next to each other, and then it cuts. That's
Yep.
it. That's the game.
So
That's the DLC right there.
We'll lose our minds together.
Yeah, and that was it. And like I said, the only time I'm going to bitch about them going from literally line for line from the fucking game is
Yeah.
what they did. And the only reason why I know the DLC pretty significantly is because I just played it one more time, not even 2 months ago.
Fair enough. Well, I mean, good.
And there's still things in this episode that I missed.
Yeah, I can imagine. I would like to go back at some point, but all right, let's dive in. So since I feel like I say it every week, but the first 2 episodes were the only episodes that we've had cold opens.
Yep.
And once again, episode 7, no cold open. Which, once again, I mean, if they don't have like that telling of a story beforehand, we may not ever get a cold open again. Now, I don't know
I
necessarily.
don't think we need it.
I hope not.
I
I
don't.
hate them.
I don't know if we're gonna get a cold open for episode 10. Or 9.
9.
9. Sorry. Only because like the story that they're gonna have to tell in episode 9 with the hospital and everything. Because it definitely seems that, like, spoilers for anyone wanting to not know spoilers for anyone not wanting to know what's coming ahead. David's next episode, as I've
Yep.
said
That's
numerous
gonna
times.
Be a
It's gonna
motherfucker.
suck. I'm not ready.
And I'm seeing a lot of trailers for it, and
Yeah.
holy shit.
Now, as I've said multiple times, it's going to be violent. It's going to be brutal if you're not prepared for it. But my main question is are we going to get that entire arc in one episode, or is it going to carry over into 9?
I think we're
You
getting
don't
the
have
entire
time to
arc.
carry it over to 9.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
don't have any time because of how
Especially-
short 9 is.
Well, especially that, but like we're also getting the backstory to Ellie's mom in episode 9.
That might be the cold open. That might be a cold
I
open.
would
That's-
assume it is.
That's where I was going to lead into, because I imagine. I'm sorry. As much as I would love to hear more backstory on Ellie's mother, I can't imagine they're going to spend a whole lot of time on it.
No.
I don't think you need it. I think it's just a nice little, addition to get Ashley Johnson in. I don't think they need to do this.
Yeah.
I don't
don't
think it's
remember-
necessary.
If I talked about it last week or not, but I feel like it's gonna be like while Ellie's kind of like going in and out of consciousness on the anesthesia, that she starts like going back and thinking about stuff. Because like otherwise it's just kind of like
Oh.
here's this woman who's her mom, I guess.
That would
and
be
kind
kind
of
of a
replaying
Okay.
like, the
That would
events of
be
her life.
that would be kind
I
of a
doubt
weird
that's gonna be the case.
that would be kind of a weird cold open,
But-
just some random woman giving birth, and then it ends up being Ashley
Being
Okay.
Johnson.
Yeah.
And I mean, those of us who have played the game, we know who Ashley Johnson is, but like
Of course.
to your random Joe Schmo, they're not going to know who.
Right.
I
Nope.
mean, they may know who she is from like
See,
other stuff.
I was wrong. I thought they were going to do it in the Left Behind episode, but
Well, because it would have made sense, because you're
It
already
would've
going
fit
back on
there.
Ellie's life anyway. So it would have made sense to like start with that and then build up to Riley and how she gets with Marlene and what have you.
right?
yeah.
But they didn't do that.
No.
I think what they could have done with that, just kind of going into it, would be show the scene of the birth, and then as they're, this is a little editing thing for me, like how I'm thinking about it, is as they're zooming into the baby's face, they kind of fade out into Ellie in the gym as she's running when they start the scene off. How they started that flashback.
Okay.
I think
Okay.
that would have been really nice to do, is like as they're kind of panning in to the baby, like you see the mom pan down to the baby, super zoom, fade out, or then you got to fade out, then fade in to Ellie in the gym as she's running.
Okay.
Okay.
I think I'd like a little more backstory than that.
Okay.
Granted we're not gonna get much. I know that.
Probably not.
But I would like to see like what happens to her. Does
Yeah.
she leave Ellie? Does she die? How does Ellie end up where she is?
Yeah.
Does that mean that her mom is part of Fedra, or
By the sounds of it, I think her mom dies.
Mm-hmm.
Just by the way things were kind of explained a tiny bit when Marlene is talking to Ellie, and that Ellie's mom and Marlene were really good friends, and like in the QZ, and then Marlene, because that's where orphans go, is to the federal schooling.
Right.
That's from what I know,
Okay.
because
Yeah.
Riley's parents, she was an orphan. Her parents died.
Yep.
So, and also she mentions you didn't know your parents. You didn't have that. She mentions that in the episode.
Yeah, she does. It's true.
So I'm assuming her mother either dies when she's really young or at birth. That's my assumption.
I would assume at birth.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Because at that point, also by keeping Ashley Johnson's character alive, because then you add another book and a half worth of questions
Yep.
that you're not going to give us answers to, because you've only put yourself into a 35-minute window for episode 9.
I think we're all, yeah,
I think it's
No, it's
46.
46.
46.
46. Yeah.
That's still not a whole lot more.
No,
But, I mean,
I think we're going to get maybe a minute.
Mm,
Maybe
maybe
couple. I don't
5.
think we're getting, possibly.
no more than 10 for sure.
Oh, hell
So
no.
I like your idea of the pan out from her as a child to her running in the gym. I think I'm gonna touch on that just ever so slightly, because I'm the way I'm thinking about it is that they're gonna lay her down for the anesthesia for the surgery, and kind of how Artie said that it's gonna she's gonna be going in and out thinking about a bunch of shit. I think she's gonna have flashback palooza in her fucking mind. And then she's gonna start seeing shit from Riley, shit from Marlene, and then that's when we're gonna get a zoom out of her on the bed, and then maybe it'll turn into Ashley Johnson on the bed in another hospital
Okay.
giving birth
Okay.
to Ellie, and then maybe when she's holding the child, maybe then we'll have
Okay.
that transition to Ellie.
Okay.
Back in the bed
On the
in
table,
the
yeah.
in the present day.
Huh. Okay. Interesting.
Okay.
Because
I'm just kind of I don't know. I have a lot of thoughts about this, and I probably shouldn't. But if it is a thing where she dies giving birth,
Mm-hmm.
from the clips that we've seen, nobody else is there. It's just Ashley Johnson and the baby.
right.
You don't see anyone
Yeah.
else in the background, so it doesn't know who's there. So like, if she dies and turns, who finds Ellie? Who finds her? What goes on after that if she dies during birth?
I would assume that Marlene.
Unless it was like a postpartum complication.
I think there's somebody there because the only clip that we have of Ashley Johnson holding baby Ellie is a rather close up, and I think
Yeah.
behind her or to the side of her is a window or a side of a room. I don't think we're seeing the entire room at all.
I would assume that we're
Yeah.
gonna get Marlene in that room,
I think so too, because I'll tie that in.
and then probably like some doctor. Granted, if it's the doctor that was at Kathleen's place, that remains to be seen. I don't know, but
I doubt it. Just because
I
of the
also doubt it.
distance.
But like, meh, you never know.
You never know, but I'm gonna
Right.
go with that. Ellie was born in Boston,
Right.
and that's it. And I don't see people traveling in this universe at all.
But no, but I mean, like, this is what this is for. This entire podcast was based so we could do this.
Yes.
Exactly. So I think we're all very excited to see how 9's gonna turn out.
I'm super excited for
Oh,
it.
yeah.
I'm also just very excited to see Ashley Johnson.
Yes.
Um,
We get Troy next episode.
I know,
Yep.
and it's gonna be weird to see him as like a quote unquote villain.
Bad
I think
guy.
I
yeah.
know who he is though. He's the second guy that was with Dave when they first come in contact with Ellie. I think that's who he's portraying.
So you think he's the guy that Joel interrogates?
Does Joel interrogate that second guy that was with Dave?
I don't remember which one, but I know Joel like that's the whole like knee, or that's like the whole
Yeah.
knife in the knee thing.
Yeah, but I've just from the conversation, like the little trailer I saw with the conversation, it was almost word for word is she's a extra mouth to feed and stuff like that. The whole conflict with that second guy that was with
Yeah.
Dave
Yeah.
when they first find Ellie in the cabin or out hunting, whatever they find her for. I can't necessarily remember, but I think he's that second in command.
Yeah.
I think they're
Okay,
going to
I
do
can
that
see
shit.
that,
Kind of how what they did with Perry. Think about that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
How they did it with
yeah.
them. Second
Yeah.
in command, brothers in the game, separate characters in the episode or in the series, both second in command. That'd be a nice little tie-in, I think, for those two characters.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Okay. Yeah.
Hmm.
Interesting. Okay.
A lot of stuff to think about here in the early minutes
Yeah.
of the show.
This is like
These are all
lots going.
theories. Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
Uh,
obviously we don't know what the hell's going on. We're
I
talking
don't-
about episode fucking 7.
I don't know if I don't know if I'd say that, Ballistic, because you were right to a point about what was that last episode prior, how they skipped right to winter. So
But we
Oh,
were
yeah.
already in fall though.
it just it didn't seem like fall, and they also never told us.
Yes,
Granted-
they did. What do you mean? Look, when they got to Bill and Frank's house, they said it was September 26th,
Okay, fair.
a month after Bill and Frank died. So don't tell me that shit that they didn't tell us, because they did, and you just didn't pay attention.
Fair. Okay, fair. I'll give
I'm
you that.
But when they're at the university, in all fairness, when they're at the university in the game, it is still fall. There's no snow on the ground. It is obviously fall. You see that transition
Right.
in the game at least. And that's I think what I was kind of going off of.
Yeah. Yeah.
Timeline though, I think I'm pretty fucking spot on so far.
I'd say so.
And I think we're going to get exactly what we're going to get in 9 and 8 from how I explained it.
Yeah.
They're going to end 9 or end 8 with the way it's going to fucking end. And
I'm
then
ready for that.
they're going
man.
to open up and they're in Salt Lake City in episode 9, heading to the hospital. And then you see your giraffe.
It's gonna be bloody. It's gonna be fucking bloody.
I hope it is.
That's what I'm over here like. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
I hope it is gruesome.
I think this
And
is going to be the
bloody.
bloodiest episode so far.
In the game, I love how we spent this entire time just talking about episode 8. Whatever. In the game, she like hacks his spoiler. In the game, she hacks his fucking face away with a machete.
Yep.
And if you saw in the trailer, she's pretty fucking bloodied.
Yeah. So like, and I mean, if the show has done one thing consistently since the beginning, they have managed to take what we already know as really fucked up and sad moments and dialed it even higher.
Yep.
Because
Yeah.
now you have 10 years later, Neil is able to get with a room full of motherfuckers and is to go, okay, what can we do to amplify this? For example, making fucking Sam? That's the kid?
Yes.
Right, yeah. Making Sam deaf.
Yep.
Small decisions, but ultimately it dials it more, man.
Yep.
I don't know why I brain farted on fucking Sam's name.
I hope it's the most gruesome thing I've ever seen. Honestly, that might be fucked up to say.
There's
But-
going to be a lot of that this episode.
I cannot wait to
Well-
see what they do if they change anything about it.
Yeah.
Which they might, because they have done before. So I'm not opposed to it.
But not this last
I-
episode.
No. You're salty about that. Whatever. I hope it is an absolute bloodbath.
See, the thing
I
is,
do.
the thing is that like we've all said numerous times throughout the show, or throughout, well, I guess our show, is that they have to change up this fight
Of course.
because like in the game it's such a gamey boss fight, like, but
Yep.
like how are you gonna change it up? That's what I think I'm most curious to see. And yeah, man, I really hope that we also get, I hope we also really get like that, very aggressive, very, what's the word I'm looking for? Just that aggressive side of Joel that we haven't really gotten to see yet.
Oh, we definitely are.
But at the same point, I also really want to see that from Ellie because I think seeing
Yep.
that from both of them would be like huge for their character development.
Yes.
And then we go into
it'll
9,
set up. Yeah, it'll set a lot of things up.
which I do before we need to get into the fucking episode. But I'm gonna ask one more
Yeah.
thing. Going into 9 again, spoilers. How is 9 gonna play out? Because
How do you mean?
they've got to tell us a story, right? So Joel going into the hospital, what does Joel do until he finds Ellie?
I think they're going to pull it relatively close from the game because he has to escape.
Yeah,
If they keep it with the
Yep.
game, he has to escape the room he is in because Marlene tells a guard to catch him or to watch him.
yeah,
He has to get out of there. So in theory, it won't be as many. Obviously, just for realism's sake, it can't be too many.
You see, I don't know if I agree with that. I think they're gonna pull like this whole like superhuman thing, and I think they're gonna make Joel look unstoppable in episode 9.
I hope they don't.
I don't
No?
think so.
I hope they keep with the realistic side of this show, which is what they've been doing beautifully with
Yeah.
everything they've done.
Yeah,
Yep.
Is keeping it realistic.
right. Yeah, quotations realistic.
Right, of course.
So sending an army after one man, realistically, you don't come out of that alive.
No.
No.
Now here and there, stealthy, breaking some necks,
Mhm.
maybe finds a knife, slits some throats. I see it being very stealthily, possibly up until he gets to the room. And then he might boom, boom. Because again, realistically, you shoot a gun, noise.
Right, right.
If it's a hospital full of fucking guards and army. Again, I hope they keep it realistic. That's
Yeah.
what I'm gonna say about that.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
It'll play really nicely into the show.
Fair enough.
I hope so. Yeah.
Like
I
same
don't
thing
know.
with the Dave episode. I hope they keep it realistic.
Part of me wants like, I don't remember exactly how he said it, but Kevin Smith said it the best. He has this one movie that he did called Red State.
Okay.
I doubt either of you have ever seen it.
don't think I did.
It's a very obscure movie. I've got a couple people listening that probably just went, "Oh shit." It was on Netflix for all of like 1 month forever ago. And I think it was like when I was fresh out of high school, and I watched it. And let me tell you, dude, this movie is bonkers. The ending of it, once again, I forget the exact wording that Kevin Smith described this kind of ending, but it's not like your typical ending, and just everything that can happen fucking happens. The ending of the entire movie is just it's insane. You can't
Yeah.
follow it. It's so crazy.
It's almost like Departed.
Yeah. Part of me wants an ending like that with Joel in the hospital. Part of me kind of does, but then again, a part of me doesn't.
Right.
Because I want that realistic, like Joel going through the hospital and just on a mission trying to find Ellie, finds Ellie, blah blah
yeah.
blah.
I think it'll be more brutal if they don't have a shootout. Like if it isn't just one big shootout. I want it to be more brutal than that.
Yeah.
Up close and personal.
Yeah.
So, but hey,
Fair
We'll
enough.
see.
Fair
2
enough.
more episodes.
We will. 2 more Sundays.
Yeah.
2 more Sundays, and then we have 1 more week after that, and then we're done.
for now.
Crazy.
Stay tuned for the Clickercast to turn into the This is the Waycast when we talk about the Mandalorian.
This is the why.
This is the what?
This is the why.
Because I know that Artie is so fucking stoked about the Mandalorian.
Yeah. Totally. Can't wait.
What'd you think of the space whales, Artie?
Oh yeah. Super cool.
Spoilers, by the way.
Yeah, that's a big spoiler. Yeah.
I mean, they should know.
Right. They should.
This
Yeah.
entire podcast is spoiler central.
I need a spoiler count. How many times I said spoiler in this episode?
Probably a lot.
I think you're at the 10 mark.
Probably over.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Episode 7.
we're gonna finally get into this fucking episode. You know, half an hour
Yay!
in. I'm gonna blow through this because like this was like a detrimental episode to the show. I feel like that's not the right
Yes.
word. It was an important episode to the show.
Yes.
But I will say, if you've played the game, then you know exactly what's going to happen in this episode because they did a very good job of ripping pretty much everything straight out of the damn game.
Yep.
Down to and this is one of the things I missed. Down to the blanket that Ellie puts over Joel.
I
Yep.
saw that on TikTok too.
I think I sent it to both of you.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think
You did.
So okay, here we go. Ready? So we start the episode off with Ellie and Joel in the cabin. Ellie trying to, help Joel as best she can. Obviously, the guy got stabbed. He's
Yep.
losing a lot of blood very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Joel tells her he basically like shoves her to the other side of the room, which I don't know how he has any kind of strength left. But he tells her to go find fucking Tommy. And they have like this like stare down for a second, and like Ellie's like really thinking about like I should not do this, and then she runs off. She goes to the door up the stairs, and the flashbacks begin.
Yep.
We then go. Did it say how many years? I don't remember if it did.
I don't think it was in years. If you think about it, I don't think it was in years, because prior to Ellie meeting
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Tess and Joel, it was only 3 weeks.
I guess that's true. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with it was within the year that Ellie and Joel had been together. Like they didn't go back that far.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
I'm gonna vote 6 to 8 months.
Sure.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
So we have that flashback of Ellie running in the gym, and she's got these fucking Walkman headphones on, and some girl who, unfortunately, to my future calling, was not Abby. Her name was Bethany. Dude, she looked like fucking Abby. She did.
I
So
could see it.
She looked like a young
Yeah.
Abby, but
Yeah,
whatever.
I could see it.
I'm just making my own headcanons over here, man. What can I say? But she rips the headphones off of Ellie's head, and she says, like, what are you going to do? You don't fight. Your friend's the only one that fights. And at that point, like, I think we all just kind of concluded that they're talking about Riley. But, like, it's
Yeah.
weird because, like, in my mind, I was like, is Riley already dead? Like, what do you mean? They get into a
Right.
fight, and then Captain Kwong, I hope I'm saying that right,
Yeah, I think you are.
is telling her basically what she needs to do. He's giving her options, and he's basically telling her, like, choose this, you get the shit end of the stick. Choose this, and you get the best end of the stick. Which, Artie,
Yeah.
you noticed a notable...
Total side note.
Yeah.
Yeah. The keychain on
Instantly.
Captain Kwong's keyring was the Naughty Dog symbol. Little red paw.
I did not catch it. I need to go back and watch
I
it.
caught it like
I
that.
didn't have time to catch it.
Yep. It was like the first thing I saw, and I was like, oh, Naughty Dog. Cool.
Yeah. So if you noticed that too, hell yeah.
Good on you. You got fucking eyes if you did.
Yeah, I didn't notice it either.
Even if she did, I don't think I would have. It was on screen for such a minute amount of time. I don't
Yeah.
think I would have seen it.
Yeah.
I don't know how I did, but I was like, oh, that's Naughty Dog.
Hey, I know that logo.
Hey, I know that. I've seen that my share of times. Yeah.
If you look back on it, though, they did frame it pretty nicely.
I was gonna
just
say,
very
yeah.
quickly.
Yep.
Thinking about it now, like, I don't know how I didn't
Mhm.
notice it because they definitely hard cammed on those keys for a
Yep.
solid
Yeah,
like
There it
4
is.
seconds.
And the keys were just very, in focus for
Yep.
like a half a second.
Yeah,
That's all it was. Half a fucking second, and then we're on the desk.
yeah.
Who's the paw? Okay.
It's a keychain.
What can we say? Dr. Kwan played some Uncharted in his time. What can you say, right? Maybe some maybe some Crash Bandicoot.
Maybe. Yeah.
He's about that age, I would say.
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah.
So, but we fast forward a little bit. Ellie's in bed. She's relaxing, trying to take her mind off of things. She's got a big ass black eye because
Yep.
she and Bethany got into it. She gave Bethany like 15 stitches or some shit.
Yep. So I don't think it was a fight. I think she beat the ever loving fuck out of her.
Yeah, I think Bethany got like one good elbow to the side of the head or something.
Yep.
And it lights out, ladies. Ellie goes to sleep. Someone sneaks into the room at like 2 in the fucking morning or something like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wakes Ellie up, and wouldn't you know it, it's Riley. Which Riley was also apparently her roommate.
Yeah.
Because there was a bed in the other side of the room that was empty. Ellie obviously was very heartbroken about all of this because they were best friends. Yada, yada, yada. Riley tells Ellie where she's been this entire time, that she's now a Firefly, and that she wants to take her on the best night of her life, quotation marks,
Yeah.
to our listeners, quotation marks, quotation marks. I don't know if I'd call it that.
No.
I don't know if I'd call it that, but they leave. They get ready to go have the quote-unquote best night of their life. They break into... Oh my god, excuse me. They break into this one... is it really breaking in? Because it's all fucking abandoned. I don't know.
No, and
No.
you find out later on that she's been there.
Right, yeah.
Shows her. Yeah.
Well, not the mall. The building.
Oh.
Where they find the bottle of booze.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that one.
Yeah,
Okay,
they go into the
Different
apartment.
building. That's right. Okay.
Yeah, they
Different
go
building.
they go
Got
into
it.
the apartment where they find this bottle of booze. Which
Different building.
the floor gives out on the I about to say clicker and zombie. Neither of those terms are correct.
The dead guy.
The fucking body that's
The
sitting
dead
there.
guy.
The dead guy. They find a bottle of booze and they both drink it. Anyway, fast forward. They go to the mall, which is pretty much taken over by like this. Well, they blocked it off because it was quote unquote for the infected. Because
Yeah.
it was apparently filled with infected, which at one point maybe it was, but when Riley takes Ellie into the mall, it's not at all.
No.
And in one of the probably one of the prettiest scenes I think I've seen yet in this show, Ellie stands to look at the mall that is pitch black while
Yeah.
Riley turns on the lights in the mall. Which I will say, and I don't know if I'm reading too much into this. Somebody on TikTok said it, and I'm gonna butcher this, so I'm probably not even gonna attempt it. But apparently, the way the lights were in order, it looked like a variation of a pride flag.
Oh yeah, I think I saw it
Oh.
was for like yeah, it's for the lesbian pride flag.
I think so. I forgive me. I'm probably saying it. I'm probably
If there's
I
another
don't know.
term for it, we both me and Nero apologize. But from what I understand, it was the lesbian version of
I think
pride
that's
flag.
correct.
I'm pretty
I-
sure it's just the lesbian flag. Yeah.
I
Okay.
saw
It's
it
pinks
on
and oranges though
yeah.
for
And I
the
think that's-
lesbian,
yeah.
and the
I
gay is just
think
the
that's-
rainbow.
And I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
Was it?
I think so.
I thought it was a lot like blues and purples.
I know there were some oranges. I definitely saw some purples.
Hmm.
Regardless, I saw a thing on TikTok. Somebody said it looked like a pride flag, and then as I saw it, I was like, "Oh, that's really cool."
Yeah.
Paying homage to that.
Quick side note: the way they shot that whole scene
Mm-hmm.
of them looking out into the mall,
Mm-hmm.
that was all blue screen.
Was it really?
Yeah. Because the building where they were at with the
Oh.
escalator,
Yeah.
where you went up to the double doors, that was it. If you looked on the other side of it, there was nothing. So
Well-
where they had that scene at where she's looking over the railing,
Yeah.
that was all superimposed back, like from where the mall that they were actually at. That was actually all blue screened into that scene.
Well, because
Right,
I know that the mall is a practical set.
Yes.
But I didn't know how much of it was like functional. So to hear that scene was blue screen, I had no fucking idea. So that's
Yeah,
that's good on them.
they mentioned that in the podcast already, or
What?
behind the scenes, the mall superimposing, where they're looking over the railing. The podcast or behind it was one of the two.
I think it was podcast.
Okay.
You guys might be right though, actually. Let's here, take a look at this.
Oh yeah.
I can see it. The arcade was all the blues though. That was my mistake.
Yeah, no, you're right, because there's the purple right there and transitioning to darker purple.
Apologies.
It's
I
like because it
sneezed.
goes from dark orange to dark pink. Yeah.
So for those of you who don't know, Artie in our Discord call posted side by sides. So that's what we're looking at right now to kind of
yeah.
affirm what Eero has said, and he's
Yeah, pretty much.
pretty
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
correct. Bottom floor. It's not the top floor, it's the bottom floor is where they did it.
Yeah, because I was thinking about this scene, I guess, being in the.
Oh,
overview of the mall?
The arcade.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
So I thought it was those colors in the arcade.
Yeah. So
I guess
this,
I thought the whole mall was just blue. I don't know.
yeah, so this scene that you just shared, everything but the railing and the glass.
Yep.
That's all blue screen superimposing. That wasn't actually there because that railing in the mall that they were at was not there.
Hmm.
That's crazy.
Well,
though.
you know, looking at the photo now, it's hard to tell, but you can tell, because typically you like with green screen or blue screen, you kind of can tell with like the silhouette
Yeah.
that's like around the person.
The round the
Um,
hair, yes.
Yep.
If you know what you're looking for, yes.
Yeah. So
And majority of us here, I think all three of us have dealt with green screen at some point in time. So,
correct.
and I know how big of a pain in the ass that is.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Shouts out to
There's a
our fellow streamers that deal with that shit weekly.
yeah.
Anyone who
lot
does
of,
any kind of blue screen, green screen effect, honestly,
Yeah.
not even
There's-
just streamers, producers, everything, all of
Yeah,
it.
there's a lot of old ballistic VODs out there with good old green screen.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, shit. Geek used to do green screens every fucking week. I give him credit for it though.
Yeah.
I've thought about it, but I can't.
Shout out to our gamers.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I don't know. So we get to see as well Ellie's first time on an escalator, which I
Yeah.
fucking
That was so wholesome.
I giggled.
It was.
I giggled at that, man. I thought it was so fucking cute.
This is magnificent.
If you think this is the fifth wonder, then
Yeah. And like I also just couldn't also just not think of Negan from The Walking Dead.
Yeah, I sent
where
you that
it's just
TikTok.
a hot diggity dog.
No.
This is magnificent.
Magnificent.
Just could not think of that. But no, so they kind of like walk in the mall a little bit. They see which I've also got actually I'll go ahead and do it now. I've got a stores that I noticed list. Because of
Okay.
course I do.
Okay.
Okay.
Obviously Victoria's Secret was like the big one.
well, yeah.
'Cause, you know, titty. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me I'm wrong. She's gay. Tits galore.
I'm not gonna say that you're wrong because you're definitely not. Also, it wasn't Victoria's Secret, I don't think, but wasn't there like a store like that in the game?
Oh, I don't remember actually.
I don't really remember either, but
I want to say there was.
I noticed a few restaurants,
yeah.
but I didn't pay attention to like the storefronts. Like I noticed like A&W,
Yeah.
Subway, Panda Express.
Yeah. Did you notice your favorite game store? There was a GameStop in there.
We're not gonna talk about it.
No, we won't.
We're not gonna
but
talk about it.
I also noticed a Gap, which the '90s kid in me was like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah.
Also, I just want to say to my folks that used to go to arcades and malls, I was really kind of upset that the arcade in the mall was not in Aladdin's castle. I will say I don't know if that's maybe just a Midwestern thing.
I think
It is? Okay. Well, there's a mall in a town about an hour away from here. It doesn't exist anymore, but they had an arcade. It was called Aladdin's Castle, and that's like it literally looked like that fucking arcade, man. That arcade was the first time I ever got to play Mortal Kombat, ironically enough.
Nice.
And my first time ever playing Street Fighter. But yeah, so I was a little butthurt about that, but I get it. It's fine. It's fine.
I get it, guys. I get it.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's okay.
I'm sure there was 100 other fucking stores, but like those are just the ones I noticed right out of the gate. I don't know why Gap fucking like surprised me so fucking much. Part of me wishes we would have saw like a Radio Shack or like a Circuit City.
Oh my God, yes.
Is
Yeah,
that
but
what-
it's also taking place in 2023 though, so like
True.
those have been gone for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, but everything shut down in 2003, and those things were very much around.
Yeah, and I will say in 2003
Well,
the GameStop logo didn't look like that.
True.
No,
It's
it didn't.
modernized for sure, but
Yeah.
regardless,
I'm gonna say yeah. I'm
Modernized.
gonna say yeah, griping about tiny things.
exactly.
This is
yeah.
what we
Not-
do,
Not
though.
important. Not important.
This
Yeah,
is
this
what we do.
This is what we do. We tear apart the show because we all love this
Yep.
fucking game and we love this universe.
Like the show is so damn good, we can't pick apart anything major.
Not really, no,
Yeah,
honestly.
yeah.
It's like,
Honestly.
we're finding like the little shit at this point. Like,
I
come
mean,
on.
I could have said the same thing about when Bill went to Home Depot in episode 3, but let's be real, the Home Depot logo has been the same since Nam. So So I mean, fuck it, I guess.
Hey, if he called it Home
Fair.
Depot, I would have been right at home because up until I think I was in high school, I called it Home Depot.
No, you
Nice.
did not.
Fuck yes, I did
Oh
because
my
I was
God,
an ignorant
you-
child.
Idiot. Oh my god.
Ballistic the ignorant. Let's go.
Ballistic Depot over here.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my god.
That's officially the name of your little
Idiot.
streaming area.
Yeah.
That ballistic teapot.
I've got the
Ellie is
dojo.
in my teapot.
We need to get you a sign that says ballistic teapot.
I'll
I'll
say-
put
Hang
it
it
right,
up. Yeah,
I'll put
yeah,
it
right
right
there. Yep.
there.
Yep.
It'll go right here. Anybody want to make me a sign, ballistic teapot? I'll hire you.
I'll
Bet.
look.
Bet.
You can probably do customizable tins.
You gotta make it look like the Home Depot sign too, though.
Nice.
I'm gonna proceed here.
Okay.
Okay. Yep.
So skipping ahead a few things as well. We get to the merry-go-round. Which
Beautiful.
My favorite scene of the whole
Beautiful.
episode.
made me feel good. The whole episode up until the ending was just a heartwarming episode from beginning to end.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Yes.
And I will say, as I said at the very beginning, Bella Ramsey does nothing short but just to continue to impress me.
Yep.
Every fucking episode.
Yep.
And in this one, she did it once again with just the subtle ways that she obviously made it to where Ellie had feelings for Riley.
Yes.
Rather it was in the just like stares or
Yeah.
everything
There was
else.
a lot of looking.
There
Yeah,
was a
the-
lot
A
of
lot of
looking.
And it started, if you notice, it kind of started at the Victoria's Secret.
It sure did.
As she's looking into, like, after Riley
Yep.
makes her little joke, you see Ellie looking into her reflection in the window and trying to fix her hair.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
and it's like, again, like you said, it's that little tiny detail that's bringing this character to life.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because again, even in the DLC game, you don't get a whole lot of emotion playing as Ellie. Either way,
Not really, no.
No.
Not really, no.
like, because I don't think she had like a real character line at that point. And Ashley Johnson did a great job either way voicing Ellie. But it wasn't until the second game to where you finally got a legitimate character from Ellie.
Because, well, in the first game, like, granted, Ellie was, like, the focal point of the game. You didn't play Ellie, you played Joel.
No. Ellie was in the background
Yeah.
Yep.
the entire game. And I feel like even in the DLC controlling Ellie, she was still kind of in the background.
Well, yeah, she absolutely was.
Because you're trying to, I think at that point, at least for me, I was trying to get through the DLC because I thought for me it would explain more with Joel. I didn't realize like that was the way it was going until the very end.
Right.
So I kind of bum rushed through it, not paying attention to much, just so I could get through it to get more Joel story.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Because to me, that's the whole game was about Joel. Because the main focal point.
Yeah.
He is the focal point.
Yeah. But we had like a little every once in a while the two of them are kind of going around the mall. We have like this little back and forth between Riley and Ellie of like, well, I need to get back. Well, I got more surprises for you. Blah blah blah. And Riley told Ellie finally of like why she left because of the quote unquote pun intended shit detail that she was given.
Yeah.
And she just didn't want to do it anymore. So that's why she left, became a Firefly. Ellie, of course, arguing with her about the entire thing, telling her that the Fireflies are nothing but anarchs and all this and all that. But we get past that first little, moment, and we have the photo booth scene.
Yep.
Which, I loved it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That was perfect.
I was kind of curious how they were going to incorporate the game elements. Because, like, in the game, you got to choose which pose you wanted to do.
Yeah.
Now, granted, it's been a long time since I've played it, so I don't exactly remember, like, all the poses that you could choose. But regardless, the show did a fantastic job of doing that.
Another beautifully wholesome moment between the two.
Yes.
Yes.
And it seems like in such a short time, both Storm Reed and Bella Ramsey like formed, a connection
Yes.
in just a short time. I mean, obviously they only filmed one episode together, so they had
Yep.
they did a really good job at getting a very good chemistry together in such a very short time.
I feel like Bella Ramsey's just one of those people though
Yeah.
Absolutely.
that they're so easy to just get along with and click just like that.
Yes, that's very true.
It just seems like they have that kind of personality.
Yeah.
Well, and I mean Bella, when they were on Game of Thrones, and damn it, what was the character of Game of Thrones name? Lady Mormont.
Lady Mormont.
Yeah, okay, I thought I had it. Lady Mormont, just like so much character came out of that character when Bella was running that entire room.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see Bella's transition from Game of Thrones to
Yeah.
The Last of Us, and I am looking very forward to what Bella's will be doing in the what Bella will be doing in the future after
Yes.
this, because I think this is going to be the start of something very, very good for her.
Yep.
For them,
Oh.
rather. Excuse me.
100%.
But moving forward, we go to what is it? Raja's Arcade.
Yeah, Rajas.
And like, man, I can't really say how many people that either listen or watch or both to this podcast have actually been to an actual arcade. Ain't no experience like it. I've been to a few in my day. And arcades were always like one of my favorite things to go visit.
I've been to one in the past few years in here where we live.
We have two here. One of them is one of those like big like round one arcade,
Okay.
so it's got like all like the gimmicky prize machines and
Oh.
all that other stuff. But then there's like a little bar here called 8-Bit that is actually like an old school kind of arcade, more like what you'd see here, but you can get beer while you play games.
That's what this place is over in it's Griffith, Indiana. I forget the name of it though,
Yeah.
but it's in Griffith.
I think I know what you're talking about actually.
Yeah, it's fuck, I forget the name. I think it's on 45th or something like that. I forget.
Yeah. And I'll be honest, I didn't know what to expect when we found the arcade, but it made sense after they found it because they found an old Mortal Kombat 2 cabinet. And let me tell you, man, I was very surprised to see all these games in such good working condition.
Yeah.
Let me just say that out of the get-go. Because I mean, they could never keep games up and running very long in Aladdin's Castle. Let me tell you, that Street Fighter machine constantly had issues. But we have this really, really wholesome moment once again between the two of them as they share the bondage over this game. Obviously, Riley found a way to get a whole mess of fucking coins, so that they can just keep playing. In the meantime, we zoom out to Trouble. There's and apparently there's a discussion about what kind of infected it was. Rather, it's a runner or a what?
Stalker.
Stalker. I wanted to say shambler.
It's not for anybody who's saying it's not a clicker. It is not a clicker. So let's end that discussion right there. That is not.
I think
a
it
clicker.
is a stalker. Because even the
looks-
runners, they make a lot of fucking noise.
Mm-hmm.
And that did not make
All that
Any
much
noises.
until it attacked.
exactly.
I totally
And that's-
wrote down that it was a clicker.
Oh, hero.
Let's end that discussion right now.
Hero, honey.
There's a picture in our Discord to where you can see the fucking eyeballs. It still sees.
And as I said, with no context, it looks like you're watching a Nightmare on Elm Street movie.
But I think it's on the way to be a clicker. There's
Yeah.
a lot of growth on its face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like your average runner with just a little bit of the fungi over the face. And there's a lot more growth there.
Yeah.
And in the
Yes.
game, between a runner and a clicker, you got stalkers. They're quiet. They're pain in the fucking ass.
Yes. God, I hated that bit.
Because not only can they sneak, they could see.
Right.
That's the bitch. Clickers, make noise. They can't see. He could kind of sneak around. These bitches sneak up on you.
I
and scare
think
the
in part
fuck
2,
out of you.
I just ran through it and hoped for the best,
Yeah.
and I made it out
Yeah.
There we go.
eventually.
There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Good enough.
Yeah.
But so we find us infected in another store, which I could only assume might have been the Foot Locker that they showed, or potentially a Dick's. It was some kind of a sporting goods store. It was in the back.
That was actually ripped from the game too.
Was it? Correct me if I'm wrong as well here, but you ran into like soldiers in the mall, right?
At the end, after the flashback.
I thought so. Okay.
Yeah, that was after the flashback when you. That's like that was your in between shit when
Yeah.
it go from flashback back to time flashback. Boom. That was your jumping back and forth.
I thought
So
so.
and it was Dave's crew that you're running into.
That's right. Okay, that's what I was thinking of, because I was
Yeah.
like, I was pretty sure there was a crew that you ran into at the mall that you and
Yeah.
Riley had to take out, but
No, it wasn't Riley. It was you taking out Joel, Dave's crew in the mall that you were in with Joel.
right.
So that's the only real difference. You're in a house hiding away instead of a mall
Right.
during this whole sequence.
But so we go to the back of like this little pizza joint. I already forgot the name. I had the name and I forgot it. But Riley finds her her favorite, a fucking pun book.
Volume 2.
Yes. So they share a moment over that, and it goes from a very wholesome moment to a heated moment.
Yes.
As Ellie finds the bombs that Riley has allegedly been making to use on the Fedra quarantine zones. And, of course, rightfully so, Ellie is not exactly very pleased about this. But we find out that Riley's basically been staying in the mall the entire time.
Yep.
Yeah. So, needless to say, she probably cleared out the place as well, but hard telling. Maybe the Fireflies did it pre-hand. It's hard to tell. They don't really ever say anything about it either.
Well, I think what they did, because I think they mentioned something about the power grid in the QZ went wonky or something, and they had to go to the Fedra had to go to the mall and do some shit and open up the mall.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with Fedra cleared it out, if anything.
Probably. But so in that moment, Riley reveals to Ellie that it's Marlene's orders that she'll be leaving Boston the next night.
Yes.
That'll be her last night in Boston, and she wanted to share it with Ellie.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, Ellie's pissed. She leaves. She storms out of the mall, but comes back pretty much immediately. And then she hears like this like odd screaming.
Yep.
Lo and behold, she runs into a Halloween store, which of course I got excited about because Halloween stores are like my favorite thing on the fucking planet.
Hell yeah.
Look who you're talking to.
Yeah. And after that, they have another somber moment of like, this is like my last day here. I wanted to share it with you. They go over all the little details about that, and they kind of like make up pretty much immediately right there. And Riley wanted to share with her the final surprise. And it's that point where they dawn on the werewolf and clown masks ripped right out of the game, which made me super fucking happy. And they dance on top of the counters to, I don't recall the song.
I think it was Pearl Jam. I think it was a song by Pearl Jam.
I think you're
Yeah,
right.
because they talked about that in the podcast.
Yeah, they talked about Pearl Jam in
Yeah.
excess in the podcast.
Yes.
Really?
A lot
Yeah.
of Pearl Jam. Yep.
I still haven't listened to it since the last time I listened to it, so you should go listen to it though.
We
Slacking.
had to do some scrounging around to listen to
Yeah,
the
it was so weird.
so fucking weird.
It wouldn't load on his TV, but it would load like on our phones.
I had to cast it from my phone. It wasn't on HBO. I
No.
looked it up on Spotify on my TV, it wasn't popping up. But as soon as I look it up on my phone, it's there on my phone.
That is weird.
Super
Okay.
So it's
weird.
like-
yeah.
So it's like, well, what the fuck? But
Yeah.
we listened to it anyways.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fair enough.
Every week
Um,
after the episode.
Dedication. That's what that is.
There you
Yep.
go. And you should also listen to the official Last
Yes.
of Us partner podcast, hosted by Troy Baker, with Neil Druckmann and Craig Mazin.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a very good time. It's also not very long either. Unlike
It's
our
like an
podcast.
hour usually.
Yeah, it's it's about an hour. I think
About an
it
hour,
goes in
yeah.
turn with how long the episodes are for the most part.
Definitely.
Yeah, pretty much.
But we get into the moment of the episode, arguably, to where Ellie tells Riley that you should not leave. And she kisses her.
Yep.
Now, granted, a lot of us knew that was coming, obviously, because we've all played the DLC. We all knew it was
Yeah.
coming. Blah blah blah. I would be very curious to hear like somebody's take on it who hasn't played the game, of like what their thoughts of it were. Honestly, I would
wouldn't.
love to get somebody in here that never played the game to then talk about the show with us.
If you can make it happen, make it happen. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know anybody off the top of my head that hasn't played the fucking Last
Oh.
of Us, but I also don't. I don't imagine there's a whole lot of people that would have the same mindset as us when it comes to episode 3. So,
True.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave that one where it's at though and move on.
Yep.
Yeah.
So the quote unquote not clicker, because I definitely don't have clicker written on my list here, shows up and fucks up the entire moment.
Yep.
Yes.
Ellie kills it, and they both realize that they are bit. Which I will say, I think Riley got a much worse bite than Ellie.
Right on the hand, dude.
Yeah. Right.
Fuck.
Yeah.
I can tell
it
you
just-
firsthand that doesn't feel too good right there.
Well, and like it looked worse, but like I don't know, man. But of course, rightfully so. They're both, Ellie's definitely a lot more angry than Riley is. And it's at this point where I hate it when shows do this. They flashed back and forth between the present and the past, between her moment with Joel and then their moment with Riley. I don't like it when shows do that because it fucks with my head. Granted, I already know what's happening here, so I mean, it's a little bit easier to follow.
So I think I know why they did that, because right before they flashed back to Joel,
Yeah.
Riley just got done explaining to Ellie, we're not going to give up. We're not going to give up our last day. We are going to fight till the end. And that's when they flash back to Ellie going right into the kitchen to
yeah.
find everything, because she's not giving up on Joel.
Yeah. No, I mean, I understood the sentiment behind it.
Oh, okay.
I just hate when shows fucking do that because it fucks with my head most of the time. Because
Gotcha.
especially when shows do like big time jumps, I don't know why, I can barely follow it half the time.
Okay.
Game of Thrones fucked me up with that all the
I
fucking
was
time
about
with
to
the
say,
time
yeah.
jumps. I had to have Brackle explain a lot when we watched Game of Thrones, but this isn't.
House of Dragon probably fucked with you then.
Woo, yeah. Don't get me started on House of Dragon. But I
Back
mean,
to The Last of Us.
yeah. But I mean, that's basically the end of the episode.
Mhm.
Ellie finds a needle and thread, and she goes to sew up Joel. Allegedly, we didn't really see her do it, or no, we did. We did.
You
Sorry,
saw it.
I'm
You
sorry.
saw it.
Yes, we did. Yeah, because Brackle had to turn away from the TV at that point.
Aw.
She doesn't like to see like
Oh.
gore. She doesn't have a problem with. It's like the getting a needle pushed through the hand type deal, or like getting like a fingernail ripped off in like a horror movie. That's the shit that she's like, eh. Which I get. I get. It's
I'm
fucking
fidgeting
brutal
with my
to watch,
fingers right now. Ah.
right?
Just
Yeah.
the thought of
yeah.
that.
Fingernails and eyes. Ooh.
Yeah.
Teeth too. Oh, awful.
Oh god.
Terrible.
Oh god.
Everything else is on the table. Fine. Whatever.
But it's at that point that we have them sit at the cabinet in the Halloween shop. and just, they sit down with each other, and we'll figure it out as we lose our minds together.
It's such a beautiful line.
And credits roll.
That is such a pretty line.
Yeah. I was honestly very surprised that they left it where they did.
Yeah.
But of course, I also thought a lot more happened in the DLC than I guess I remember. Regardless, definitely one of the best episodes, I would say, in the selection that we've gotten. So with that said, final thoughts from the both of you. Artie, why don't you go ahead and start?
Okay. Yeah. Probably favorite episode of the series so far. I think it was just so pretty and so beautiful and just so nice. Like, because even knowing what happens, it's such a hopeful episode for Ellie and Riley, regardless of if you know what happens or not.
Yeah.
And it just gave like that nice warm feeling of like, okay, you can still love people in this world. You can still do these things with these people that you care about, and you'll be fine. And then, of course, at the end, tragedy strikes, and you're not fine. But I think it was portrayed in a very, very good way, and I'm really happy with it.
Good. Ballistic?
Like I said at the beginning of the episode, my one and only gripe is not having more. Not having more of an explanation at the end. Other than that, I do agree. One of the better episodes we have seen, even though every episode so far has been absolutely phenomenal. My favorite, no. And that's because of what I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
That's my only reason. It's because of what I wanted. How they did they ripped this episode damn near straight from the DLC. There was a lot of similarities, more in this episode than we've had in almost every episode so far, minus the episode 1. There's every similarity you could think of, from the blanket that they put on Joel to the race car in the race car that they had
The
in
race car game, yeah.
Same thing with the picture booth, the merry-go-round carousel thing, all the way up until the end. Again, like you said, the only thing that was different was you didn't get the motherfucking brickmaster. You didn't get to throw the bricks.
Oh yeah.
No
You
water
didn't get
guns
to-
either.
No water guns, and you fought a horde of infected, or a horde of infected who ransacked Riley and Ellie.
Maybe that's what I was thinking about.
That was like the main difference, was the fact that there was a horde essentially of infected.
I was gonna say, I knew you fought something in that fucking mall with Riley, and it
Yeah,
wasn't
it's-
just
Yeah.
one guy. I knew you fought something. I couldn't remember what though.
You don't necessarily fight him though. You run,
Right? Yeah.
and you're running away. And it's more. I think it's like maybe 4 of them, and then it's essentially all the same outcome either way.
Right.
And then also what they ripped right from the game was Ellie smashing the glass.
Yeah.
Again, great episode, great execution, beautifully done. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Actors did an incredible job as always.
Always, yes.
I would definitely agree.
That cannot be expressed more.
No.
I will say, in a show like this, where a lot of people were probably really looking forward to watching Pedro Pascal, kind of just run the show, quote unquote, with Bella Ramsey coming out. I mean, Bella has really surprised a lot of people, and like I'm included, because I didn't know what to expect from Bella.
Oh, they've taken the spotlight for sure.
And I would
Easy.
definitely agree.
100%.
With that, I'm very excited to get to this next part. I want ratings, and I'm actually going to have Ballistic start because I would like to hear Artie's last.
Okay.
Go ahead, Ballistic.
9.9. Just because I was expecting,
You wanted more of that narrative.
I wanted more narrative. Like that's the only thing. That's why I'm taking a tick off of it.
Fair enough.
9.9.
Fair enough. I've got to, of course, give it my every week 10 out of 10 because I fucking loved it.
Yep.
Honestly, man, the arcade did it for me. In the Mortal Kombat 2 machine. But, Artie.
I know you want a 10. I'm not gonna give it to you.
No?
No. It's still gonna be my highest rating
Okay.
at a 9.97. Because I am so hesitant to give anything a 10 yet
Mm-hmm.
until we go back and do our revisions to all the ratings.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm not gonna know until we're done. I
Okay.
think it has potential to be my 10 out of 10. But we'll just have to see.
Definitely. Definitely. And
Okay.
I know I didn't really give like a final thoughts thing, but like it's a fantastic episode. The show's fucking awesome. What else can I say? I say it every fucking week. I love the show. I love Neil and I love Craig for what they've done
Yep.
to this universe. Pedro and Bella keep fucking it up. I love it.
Yep.
And with that, we've got 2 episodes left until we're done.
But
So-
we have gotten a little sneak peek that they are possibly going to start filming this year.
Season
Oh,
2.
for
Season
season
2.
2? Really?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Shit.
Pedro may or may not have let that slip.
Yep.
I don't know if it was intentional.
Yeah.
He said it
Or-
was possible. There was
It
no
was
direct
possible.
confirmation.
It wasn't a confirmation, so don't take that for what it is, but
He said it's very possible that we
it's
can start
very
filming
possible.
this year,
'cause
given the
he's
time
like-
frame that we're in.
I was
Yeah,
gonna
he's
say,
like, what are we in spring? Yeah, it's possible. And that's what he
Yep.
says.
I mean, with let's face facts here. I don't think anybody expected the amount of popularity the show was going to get. And I mean, even us sitting here knowing that we've all loved this game. I mean, granted, this game is 10 years old.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
are people going to care about the story the way we did? And obviously, yes.
Yes.
It's a,
Yeah.
And
it's
even
a-
people who don't know the game,
yeah.
they are
Yeah.
blowing the numbers up every week. It's a higher viewer than the last.
Yeah.
I got a guy at work that's actually watching it that has never touched the games.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean,
I think I'm
I
about to have someone like that, but he's just stubborn. So.
need to talk to my
Knows who he is.
father-in-law again.
Yep.
I need to talk to my father-in-law again because he was watching it. The last time I had spoke to him about the show, I think he had gotten to episode 4, and he really liked it. He really liked the show. So I'm curious to talk to him once the show's done, and to kind of get his thoughts because like I said, I
Yeah.
think it was last week I had said it. The only game that man's ever played was Doom.
Yeah.
The original Doom.
Yep.
So I'd be really excited to see, excited to see what he has to say about the show at the very end of it.
Yeah.
For sure.
But with that said, crazy episode. We've got 2 left, 3 more left from us here at the Clickercast. Because if you don't know, we're gonna do a recap of episodes 8 and 9. And then our episode, it'll be our episode 11.
Yes.
Yeah.
11.
Yeah, because it's 10 episodes of the show, or not, no.
9 episodes of the show with
It'd still be
one
11
prior,
though.
one after.
That's
Yeah,
right.
so you're
Yeah,
right.
so
It's
it's
11.
still 11.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
So,
So,
essentially, you had our pilot,
yeah,
then the start of the
And the
series,
show pilot, yeah.
and then they'll have the show finale, then our finale.
but we're going to do another episode after the show is done running, as like a collaborative, what we thought of the show as a whole. We're going to go back and we're going to readjust our ratings. And then I think I'm gonna make some fancy thing that's gonna show all of our ratings for every single episode up into that point. Excuse me. And it's gonna be a really good time. So like I said, you've got 2 episodes left of The Last of Us, 3 episodes left of the Clickercast. So make sure you tune in to all of it. We do appreciate everybody for stopping by as always, which of course I don't think I say it enough. Thank you for tuning in. You can, of course, catch this on all of your favorite podcasting platforms. Just look up the eCast on Spotify, Apple Music, Google Music, Amazon Music, along with a couple others probably. And you can also find this in video form on YouTube, on my channel, Ballistics channel, and Artie's channel. And with that, I want to thank you once again for listening or watching with us. You can, of course, find they're over here, my wonderful co-hosts at...
You can find all my links over at linktr.ee/ballisticgamingtv.
And Artie the Gamer on everything.
There you go. And, of course, I'm Eero, which you already knew that. We appreciate you once again for stopping by here at the ClickerCast, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye!
Bye!